We're doing a water pump on 2005 Chrysler Town & Country, same as a Grand Caravan.
Bomba de agua, un caravan.
It's a 3.3 liter.
3.3.
I believe the 3.8 liter is the same water pump though.
First you want to rack the vehicle. And
if you have a rack.
If you have a rack.
Take the tire off, take the plastic guard off.
Pause. This takes like 5 minutes to get plastic deal up.
Well, got that on.
Okay. Here's your water pump. Thank you, Brian.
That's it.
There's not even any pressure on the system. And you can see it dripping. The weep hole actually has a rubber plug in it. So that's what we're going for. Drain the cooling system and pull the hose here. Works pretty good, makes a big mess. And you're going to loosen these bolts first on the pulley before you take the belt off. Otherwise the pulley will spin while you're trying to take the bolts loose. So loosen the bolts, then you can take the belt off with the tensioner here by sticking the adapter in that square hole right there, 1/2 inch adapter. 1/2 inch ratchet might fit, but the serpentine belt tool you can run from AutoZone will work better. This is the tool that's in there. There's one bolt that'll be accessible. If you rotate it down, loosen the belt down, you can rotate the pulley to make it easier to get to the bolt.
Take tension off.
Obviously after you loosen it so you can rotate the pulley around, you're going to put tension back on it so it won't spin when you loosen the bolts. Now we're going to take the belt off. After you pop it off one pulley, release it, you can take your tool all the way out. You'll see the 1/2 inch adapter in this tool.
Then
the fun part's about to begin. Trying to get this pulley out. As you can see in between the frame and the pulley, there's not much room.
get the belt out of the way.
The belt's still hanging up. You don't have to take the belt all the way off. You just push it out of the way. It'll keep it on a lot of the pulleys, so you don't have to put it all the way back on. See, you can see here, it gets wedged. There's not enough room to get it in.
Show them.
This is the water pump, the bolts. If you can't get a pry bar in there and get it back far enough gently without breaking anything, you can leave the pulley on and take the bolts for the water pump out. You line the pulley up with a bolt. See how you can get to a bolt, work the pulley around, get to another bolt. Just remember you're going to have to put it on the same way. Alright. You're not sure how many bolts are in your water pump? Get the new one. Count the holes. There's 5 in this one. It'll also tell you the location of the bolts. You don't have to look for them. You know exactly where to go. A lot of people have a hard problem keeping the gasket on. So what we do is we glue it on with weather stripping adhesive. They've renamed it because people used it. 3M weather stripping adhesive and gasket adhesive because so many people were using it. They just renamed it and charged you more. Just put a little bit in the groove. This works for anything, valve covers, anything gasket. You can glue this on there and it's not going to hinder the sealing ability. Make sure it's the same on both sides. Just glue it down, let that set up for a minute or so while he's still taking that old one off. You'll notice this has plastic impellers. If you ever had a cooling system problem, it's just whooping your butt. A lot of those get corroded off, so you won't have anything with flowing coolant. So if you've done everything else, pull your water pump off and double check that. So I'm going to let that set up and he's pulling that water pump. It's working on the last bolt here. You can see the tool he used was a flex head ratchet wrench.
10 millimeter.
10 millimeter. The pulley bar bolts were 13 millimeter. Everything's metric on this car. Less like right. Grounded them out. Alright, so he's about ready to take it all out. And I am talking about the water pump.
I want to step back because
if there's any coolant left, it's going to hit the floor. If it's glued in there, a little tug from a screwdriver helps sometimes. finagle it out there.
Easier said than done.
Yeah. There you go. That's it. You can see. That's where it goes. Need to make sure that surface is clean. And then we'll replace it. Wedge that thing back in where it came from. Kid you not, as soon as I hit stop, it went right in. And you just bolt it back up. Like I said, you don't tighten any bolts until every single bolt is in and ran all the way up. Otherwise you're not going to be able to line up your holes. Stick them all in, run them all the way up, but don't tighten them. And then you can tighten them just like a wheel or a star pattern. Sticking the pulley bolts back in. Same idea here, don't tighten anything down until they're all in. So you ran it all the way up, and you can do the same thing on this one. Notice he had the belt in position already on that pulley and popped it off over here, off the AC, just so he could get it on that, because that's obviously easier to get the belt on than the water pump is. It's always easier to pop a belt off of the smooth pulley instead of a grooved pulley, but there's none down here.
Now we're going to pop the belt on.
Now he's got them all in there, and they're not tight. We're going to put the belt on so it'll hold the pulley in place. While he pulls that, he's going to put the belt on.
Make sure everything runs on the grooves.
Looks like everything's lined up. Power steering up here is the most difficult one. It's perfect. So he's going to tighten that up. And the belt should hold just enough tension on it, so when it starts spinning, the bolt will be tight. See that?
There it goes. Okay, roll
Now,
it around.
I'll loosen this so we can spin the pulley. I'll put tension back on it. And if it's doing that and you don't think it's tight enough, you can always push the other way on the tensioner. There you go.
Should be good.
That's it. It's done. Just fill it up with coolant. Make sure you top off your reservoir too. Always overfill the reservoir drastically in case it burps. Turn your heater on full blast. Get all the air out of the heater core. That's it. Put the plastic guard and the tire back on.